likely Alderman Wetzel. Caller 1, is that you, Alderperson Kilps?
Yes.
Caller 1 is Alderperson Kilps. And who was the other question? Dan Bartz is an alderman. Karen Went is the 2nd district. Tom Pash is the 1st. Cassandra Wagner is the 6th. Jill Holthaus was here. She's the 5th. Jacob, you guys?
Emily,
Yes.
showing that the Public Safety and Welfare Committee starts at 6 p.m. tomorrow.
They were inquiring about public works.
Oh, okay.
All right. I am going to call the, and make sure I'm there. Yep. All right. I'm going to call the Tuesday, January 5th Common Council meeting to order. Elissa, will you please take the roll?
Pash.
That passed here.
Went. Here. Britton.
Here.
Bartz.
Here.
Holthaus. Here. Wagner.
Here.
Schmidt.
Here.
Wetzel.
Here.
Phillips.
Here.
All right. Thank you. And will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. All right. The first item on our agenda is the minutes of the council meeting from December 29th. Are there any comments or changes to those minutes? All right, seeing none. Next is comments and suggestions from citizens present. If anyone would like to speak, you can go. We can't do question and answer, so they won't be able to ask you any questions. But, yep, just state your name and address, and they won't be able to see you, but,
That's
okay.
great. My name is Eric Gerard. I am Post 35 AMVET's Finance Officer, Special Events Officer, District 7 AMVET's Finance Officer, and I live at 902 Clyman Street, District 9, I believe. I actually have really nothing to say other than the fact that we were unaware that there was going to be a lengthy discussion last council meeting, and with our schedules, we weren't able to be here. So I just came in case there's any discussion today, if I'm able to come today. So if anybody has any questions, I can answer them. So I was actually going to speak later if there are. If not, great. I'll plan on being at the Public Works meeting. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anything from Mr. Frank? Are we good? Good? Okay. I don't see anyone on the virtual meeting that I don't recognize. So with that, we will go to our first public hearing. This is to amend Chapter 550 of the zoning code through creation of Section 550-37B, Paren 2, Paren 1, principal land use permitted by conditional use personal storage facility. This legislation would allow for personal storage facility land use to occur within heavy industrial zoning districts by conditional use as a principal use. I will call that public hearing to order. If anyone wishes to comment, please step up to the microphone, or I don't see anyone online. And Elissa, just to confirm, did you receive anything in writing? No? Okay. All right, I will close that public hearing. Our next is a public hearing. This will be to amend Chapter 550 of the zoning code through removal of Section 550-53C, Paren 1, Paren D. The removal of this section would allow for electrical power to be run to the personal storage facility land uses. I will call that public hearing to order. Anyone wishing to comment on that one? Elissa, I assume nothing was received? Okay. All right, I will close the public hearing. That will go back to the Plan Commission. Our next item then is committee reports. We have just the Public Safety and Welfare Committee from December 9th. Does anyone have any questions or comments on those minutes? All right, very good. We have no old business. Our first, under communications and recommendations, is a short list of committee appointments for your consideration. Is there a motion on those?
Ms. Wagner, I can make the motion.
Motion by Wagner and a second by Pash. Any comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? All right, our next then is a COVID-19 update and discussion. This is our standing item. Carol's up tonight, so Carol, just give me 1 second.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to repeat some of the information with updates from the last meeting. I talked about vaccine. So just some updates since we last had this conversation. There have been 2 vaccines approved by the FDA for emergency use. And those vaccines are from 2 different companies, Pfizer and Moderna. The Pfizer vaccine is approved for individuals 16 years of age and older, and Moderna is approved for individuals 18 years of age and older. The State Disaster Medical Advisory Committee continues to meet just about weekly. Those are open meetings to the public. They are putting together plans for distribution and vaccine coverage for the priority areas, priority populations, I should say, across the state. At this point, the only advisory and the directive that they've provided that's come through DHS is vaccine distribution for priority area 1A. And on this slide, this is the same as it was as we discussed last time. Priority 1A is healthcare workers and residents and staff for long-term care facilities. Those vaccines have started to roll out. Actually, the first vaccines that came out in the state, it's been, I think it was 3 weeks ago. It could be 4, but I'm pretty sure it was 3 weeks ago. And the first vaccine that came out was the Pfizer vaccine. I'm sure that probably many of you have heard that the storage for the Pfizer vaccine is complicated and requires some special considerations. So that the distribution of that vaccine was very limited to those facilities that could manage that super sub-zero temperatures. Can go on to the next slide. So I just took this slide has information that's on the state website. The state has started to put information out on vaccine allocation that the state has from the federal government, and then what's been shipped, and then what vaccine has been administered. When I put this slide together earlier today, this snapshot is from up to date from December 29th. This afternoon, they did update the website with some additional numbers. So I would, if you're interested in what's happening in the state as far as vaccine distribution, I would encourage you to look on the state website under vaccine. They do have, and the state has rolled out the pharmaceutical partnership with long-term care facilities. And that, just again, a refresher on that, that is, it might be on my next slide, but that is an agreement between 2 national pharmacy chains, Walgreens and CVS, to deliver vaccines to long-term care facilities. They're starting with skilled care facilities, which would be in our community, Watertown Healthcare Center and Marquardt Manor. And they are providing vaccines to staff and residents. And then on the next slide, I just updated this a little bit. So we continue to work with our community partners, our healthcare partners, to provide continue the work on our comprehensive vaccine distribution plan to the priority groups. Information that we're continuing to wait on is what are the definition of the other priority groups. Many states have already started working on other priority groups, which might include elderly or other essential workers. So in Wisconsin, we do not have that definition yet. We also do not have an expected delivery or timeline availability for vaccine for those additional priority groups. And then once vaccine becomes widely available, the health department, along with their other community partners, will have community vaccination clinics, similar to like our flu vaccination clinics that we have in the fall. And we're already we've been working on that really probably for many years, but with our pandemic plan, but we've really fine-tuned that in the last several months. So we're anxious to have more detail from the state so we can continue to move that vaccine out. And then just updating our numbers. So we've had 12,179 total case investigations. 9,701 have not been a case. We have had 2,166 total confirmed cases. 2,060 have recovered, and we have 106 active cases as of today. We have had 59 probable cases, and again, that number is increasing some. We have some providers that if there are members in a household that have tested positive and other household members are symptomatic, a provider may not test those other individuals in that household and diagnose them based on clinical symptoms. So those individuals would be defined as probable cases. We've had 168 suspect cases. We have 85 open contact investigations. 4% of our positives have been hospitalized, and 29 individuals in our community have passed away from COVID. And then just a couple graphs that you've seen before, but updated with the numbers from this morning. And again, it just shows the total case investigations and positives and recovered. Then this breakdown goes by age. Again, you can see the age group that's most impacted. And then and it's so small I can't read it, but
29.
Can you, Emily, what is
20
is that the 20?
20 to 29, and then 30 to 39, and then 50 to 59.
Okay, yeah, so it's been following that trend all along. And then just a little different presentation for the pediatric cases. So you can see our older age groups are seeing more case diagnosis. And that's common across the country. As individuals are more active, we're seeing more spread of disease. And then the last slide is our phased reopening, and we continue to be in phase 1. This particular presentation is from last week, Wednesday.
Questions?
Any questions?
Questions for Carol?
Carol, I have a question. Have you heard anything about anyone with real bad allergies not to have the vaccination?
If an individual has had an anaphylactic reaction to any components in the vaccine, they should work with their healthcare provider to consider whether they should take the vaccine or not. But if an individual has had that experience, we at the health department would not provide vaccine to that individual. It's important that they work with their medical provider.
Other questions for Carol? The only update that I have this week is that we met today as a team, and then I coordinated with Council President Ritten. We are going to stay in this format for at least 2 weeks. I have a reminder to revisit meetings and building openings on, I believe it's the 18th of January. So if you have any insight, please let me know. If you're looking for more information, please let me know. The intention was to wait till at least the holidays were over. And really, we're just looking to give the holidays that incubation period, and then we will revisit. So that's the planned approach on this end. Anything else for Carol or I on this topic? All right, very good. Thank you, Carol. We have no new business. Under reports and miscellaneous business, we have the Library Board from November 12th, Park, Rec, and Forestry from December 7th, the Redevelopment Authority of December 9th, and the Senior Center Advisory Board from December 16th. Does anyone have any questions or comments on any of those minutes? All right. We have no licenses, but we do have quite a few ordinances, and we do have to do each one of these individually. So work with me. We'll do our best. Maybe we'll do round robin on motions or something. So our first ordinance is 20-31. This is to repeal the Watertown Municipal Code Section 220-14 through 220-19, Article 2 pertaining to outside sales. This is in Chapter 220, alcohol beverages and other beverages. This is here from me and the licensing board on its second reading.
I'll make a motion to approve 20-31.
Motion by Wendt,
I'll second. This is Holthouse.
second by Holthouse. Comments or questions on this one? Elissa? Oh, I'm sorry. Alderperson Wetzel, did you have something?
No, I was stretching.
Oh, okay.
I'm old. I gotta move.
All right, Elissa?
Went,
Aye.
Britton,
Aye.
Arts,
Aye.
Holthouse,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Abstain.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Kilps,
Aye.
Cash,
Aye.
All right, thank you. Next is ordinance 20-32. This is to amend the Watertown Municipal Code, Chapter 220-9, Paren F, regulation of licensed premises and licensees of Chapter 220, alcohol beverages and other beverages. This is also here from me and the licensing board on its second reading.
Written move for approval, ordinance 20-32 on its second reading.
Thank you. Motion by Written, second by Wendt. Any questions or comments on this one? Alderman Pash.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So the one item that I just, for my clarity, item number 5, it says the outside sales area shall not be greater than the floor space of the abutting licensed premises. So I know the definition of the adjacent is kind of outlined in a couple of these, but when they say the outside sales area, is that the area of consumption, or is that because in the previous description, or the previous code, it actually specifies that we would be provided, well, for special events, they would articulate or provide, imagery of exactly what area is going to be utilized. And I'm just curious what the actual space that they're referencing.
So I will go to either Elissa or Rose in a moment. The way that I understand this is we're essentially saying that the outdoor area that is their outdoor premise should not be larger than their indoor premise. So this ordinance would keep an outside service area, like an outside bar, equal to or smaller than their inside bar. Is that correct, Rose or Elissa? Rose?
Yes, so, for example, like, a premise that is 400 square feet, a bar that's 400 square feet couldn't then have a 1,200 square foot patio. It just keeps it consistent, and also protects your brick and mortar a little bit as a whole, as a municipality, because then you won't have, and not that this would happen, but the purpose is to protect brick and mortar, because then you couldn't have someone just rent this very small piece and then open up a huge patio.
Sure. Well, and then the line of questioning comes to outdoor sports facilities, volleyball courts, baseball fields. If they were adjacent to a licensed establishment and they had the 4-foot fence surrounding, what would be defined as the bar, the area of? Is that already allowed? Maybe I'm crossing my lines here with the appropriateness.
You're right on. So if I were doing it, if I were a licensed premise, I probably wouldn't license my volleyball courts, because that might put me over the cap. I would just license the area leading up to the volleyball courts. That's how I would get around the restriction.
So if someone's playing volleyball, they wouldn't be able to drink with a drink in hand, but you can't, well, I shouldn't say you can't. It's very difficult to play volleyball while drinking,
Agreed.
in my
Well-
opinion. Sorry, Mayor, you're probably a little bit more versed on that, but I don't play a ton of volleyball.
Right. So to that point, then, would they need a 4-foot perimeter between the consumption space and the volleyball facility or the softball field? They would have to have that space enclosed. And then the patrons would have to go through the interior to get to the volleyball courts. Per the spirit of this ordinance.
Yeah, so you're looking at number 3. So I think short answer is yes.
Okay, I just don't want it to create a logistical challenge for establishments where, I think it is a common thing to have outdoor sport or recreational facilities, and just ensuring that they don't have, that exterior access point would then be prohibited. So anyway, I don't know, I think and try to understand this, just want to make sure that that was considered.
And again, I'll go to Rose first, or I know I've heard Chief Kaminsky speak about it, Andy Lissa as well, so whomever wants to chime in. There is a long-standing licensed establishment practice of having a perimeter so you can identify who is responsible for the alcohol that is served in a particular area. So it's quite common, even with indoor establishments that perhaps aren't their own 4 walls, for us to have some type of barrier or fencing, something that identifies that I am responsible for, this square as the licensee holder. So I think that's nothing new, as far as I know. I'm seeing people agree with me. So I think that's a fairly established practice to have some type of boundary for the area of which you're responsible.
So can you have a boundary around the entire perimeter and then have an interior boundary for the bar space to comply with the real, I'm just coming back to the square footage, not to exceed the licensed establishment's square footage. And I don't want to get hung up on it. I am support of this, and I want to make sure that it goes through. I just don't want to see any conflict there in terms of utilization of that outdoor space and going against the spirit of this ordinance.
Mm-hmm. Does anyone have an
Anyway.
answer to Mr. Pash's question? Can you fence a fenced area? It seems.
Sorry, Mayor, what was that?
I think your question was, if I have a fenced, like I'm picturing a bar in town that has a bar and then they have volleyball courts. If they were to fence their entire volleyball court, could they have a fenced area inside of that for selling? And I believe the answer to that question would be yes, but I'm going to defer to the city attorney on that one.
The exterior, whatever exterior area is licensed would have to be fenced. The areas that you wouldn't be allowed, that the unlicensed area, you wouldn't be allowed to consume alcoholic beverages. However, it could still be part of the same property. It doesn't, individuals wouldn't be able to consume alcoholic beverages past the fence point.
Okay. And then just last point, then I'm done. So can they access those outside facilities through that outdoor space, or would they still have to go back in through the interior? And I don't know how. Just
Yeah.
as we don't amend this very often. We don't rewrite. So I just want to make sure that it's really gonna be
volleyball
applicable
court.
long term.
If I'm at the volleyball court, can I go through the sub fence, if you will, to get into the inside of the bar, is the question.
Right.
Rose?
I would refer to sub 4, and I think Alderman Pash said it. Entry to the outside sales area shall not be through an access point in the enclosure and fence, and shall only be gained from an interior of the licensed premise. So I guess what you could do is you could do a exit only to the volleyball courts through the fence perhaps, but under the ordinance, you could not do an entry to the license area through the volleyball courts in your scenario.
Okay. And I read this prior, and I read it on the first reading, and forgive me, this just in reviewing it again today, I caught this, so I certainly would have brought it to you earlier. I just realized it now, but certainly shouldn't pose too much of a concern.
And I think we've had Chief, I'm going to come to you. I think we've had this conversation before about essentially having a single entry and exit point for the purposes of monitoring who's coming in and out of the establishment.
And that's exactly, you're the license holder. You're responsible for who's drinking on your premise, in your premise. However you want to say it, it's your licensed premise, but you have to control that entrance. So you just can't have multiple entrances, outside, inside, where you're not, and especially outside, then you have no visual control if you're not out there all the time to see who's coming or going. So that's essentially why you have the inside access to the outside.
Any
Well,
other?
maybe we don't have a lot of facilities that are, I don't know the, how many establishments have those type of facilities. I don't go to many, but if they were out there, that could create a conflict in terms of trying to set a precedence or being fair and consistent. All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions or comments on this one? Good questions, Mr. Pash. Elissa, go for it.
Witten,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Holthouse,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Same.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Kilps,
Aye.
Cash,
Aye. Aye.
Went,
Aye.
All right, thank you. Our next is ordinance 20-33. This is to amend section 410-32, paren D, civil emergencies of chapter 410, peace and good order. This is Article 5, government and law enforcement of the city of Watertown general ordinances. This is here from Alderman Schmidt, public safety, on the second reading.
I'll move to approve ordinance 20-3.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion from Pash. Is there, Mr. Schmidt, is a second? Alderman Schmidt, are you fine with being a
Yes.
second? Okay, thank you. So motion by
Yes.
Pash, a
Sorry.
second. Motion by Pash, a second by Schmidt. Comments or questions on this one? All right, Elissa.
Cash,
Aye.
Went,
Aye.
Witten,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Holthouse,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Kilps,
Aye.
All right, thank you. Next is ordinance 21-1. This is to, oh man, to create Article 12. Youth Advisory Committee of Section 24-22 through 24-24, membership, terms of office, purpose, and duties of Chapter 24, which is boards, commissions, and committees of our City of Watertown general ordinances. This is here from me and the Finance Committee on its first reading.
This is Wagner. I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 21-01.
Thank you. Motion by Wagner.
This is Holthouse. I'll second.
Thank you. With a second by Holthouse. Questions or comments on this one?
I have a question.
Sure.
Can we get a background of what this is for and the intended end state of this program?
Did you ask for a background on what the intent is?
Yes.
Yeah, so,
Sorry, I've got really choppy internet right now.
that's okay. We heard at the Finance Committee from two youth members of the community, as well as letters of support from some of the principals of the schools in the community. The goal is to have a youth advisory committee that both serves as a vehicle to bring the youth of our community into our city government process, both through opinion and through active volunteerism, as well as to have a body that will help, have another voice at the table on some of our kind of strategy discussions. So, if we have the bike path pedestrian task force, let's say they're talking about putting in bike lanes, and we want to do a quick subcommittee on that. We'd be able to pull members from a variety of organizations, and this would be one to represent the youth of the community. It's not something that's new. There's examples of it throughout the country and throughout the state. For me, you know, acknowledging that the future of this community is in the youth and wanting to retain those youth here, this is a really easy way to involve them and bring them into the fold earlier on than when they graduate and hopefully return to the community. The composition is both public and private, and traditional school and non-traditional school. The grades are just there as a mechanism to draw some boundaries around age. Was there another question? Alderperson Went.
Now, is there a certain criteria for these students to get onto this board?
The only criteria is their age. And then obviously they have to be nominated. I believe the way they have it set up is nominated through the committee and then put forward by the mayor and then approved by the common council. So they have the same level of scrutiny as any other appointee to any other board or committee. Nothing that they do is binding. They would be a subgroup to a standing committee.
Right.
Mr. Wetzel.
I have, it looks like there's 7 committee members. Those are all the teenagers and 2 mentors. Mentors, I assume, are adults then.
The 2 mentors are young adults, so I would say they're graduates. Graduates of traditional high school age. Any other questions?
Just a couple nuances in regards to eligibility.
Sure.
Besides age and residency to the city, are they going to be held to the same eligibility standards that elected representatives have to be in regards to criminal records, good standings with the academics, and those kind of things?
We don't have anything in here about those 2 items. I'm looking for, no, we didn't include anything about grades either. If we wanted to add, I believe the condition, and Alyssa, you'll have to give me the exact phrasing, the condition's something about not being a felon or have a felony of which you've been pardoned, something along those lines is the typical verbiage, correct? So something like that could be added in. Mr. Schmidt, if that's your desire, we would just take an amendment to the ordinance.
Yeah, I would feel more comfortable if we had some kind of verbiage in there, just to ensure that whoever the legal adults are that are going to sit as the chair and vice chair of this board that does represent the city, even though indirectly, have clean records to ensure that we're presenting the best candidates to this position who are going to be working directly with the.
I think you may have cut out there.
Can I clarify
Yes.
one thing? It's actually not residents of the city, though, it's residents of Dodge or Jefferson County. It was originally said the greater Watertown area, which didn't have any boundaries. So I put Jefferson and Dodge County. If you want to change that, you can, but we just need something that has boundaries, and the greater Watertown area is not a thing. There's no boundaries to that.
Sure.
So if you want to say Watertown School District or, you know, something like that, you can change that, but just, so you know, it isn't the city.
So I think
Yeah.
Alderman Schmidt's point, which we can circle back to Rose's comment. I think the appropriate place, Mr. Schmidt, if you'd like to make an amendment, would be in 24-22 under membership. It would be members that are in grade 12 may complete their appointed term. There shall also be 2 people with non-voting rights that serve as mentors to the Youth Advisory Committee. Mentors shall be appointed by the mayor and approved by the Common Council. If the clerk has that verbiage handy that we use, we can insert it right after the end of that sentence. And I see her pulling it up right now. Is that what you're looking for, Mr. Schmidt?
Yes, it's something to safeguard the youth that are going to be on that advisory committee,
Sure.
so that whoever the legal adults are who have been screened and verified that they are able to work with children, we are representing the best that we can for the communities in that regards.
Sure.
Just a clarification. I believe Alderman Schmidt said the chair and vice chair, whoever they are, adults, they're going to be teenagers, correct?
So, I mean, the people that have brought this forward are probably, I'm going to say 19 and 20. I don't know their exact ages. And right now, it just says that there are two non-voting mentors, and the mentors are appointed. So we don't have any definition that I recall around mentor beyond that they're non-voting and appointed by the mayor and approved by the common council.
I mean, the chair and vice chair are
Yes.
part of the 7 members. The 7 members are teenagers.
Correct.
Correct,
Yes,
thank you.
8th grade,
Thank you.
traditional 8th grade through 12th grade. Correct.
Yes.
But if you would like for that addition for mentors, I think we would need to capture Alderman Schmidt's concern, it would be the felon language, and then we should also use whatever language we use for coaches. I don't know if Rose has access to that quick enough. The language that we use for the background check for our seasonal athletic hiring. Rose, maybe what we should do, can you provide us a little guidance here? I want to make sure that we capture those two, if that's the desire of this committee. Would you prefer that we take an amendment now, or potentially take a vote on the first reading and bring those changes back, redlined in the second?
You can amend it now. It doesn't matter. Or you can direct staff to amend it for the second reading.
I think
It doesn't matter.
Unless someone has that background check language handy, I think it's probably going to be more efficient to direct us to adjust it for a second reading, if it passes the first. Alderman Schmidt, would you be agreeable to that?
To have it amended to clarify and to add that language in. I think clearly defining the roles of the mentors and the requirements would benefit the community as a whole to understand the intent of the program, to show that we are safeguarding the youth and still incorporating them. So I would be in favor of, I would make a motion to push it back to clarify the language before moving it forward, trying to amend it after the fact.
So are you making a motion to table?
Yes, to make the adjustments before bringing it back.
Okay. Is there a second to that?
I'll second that. Went.
Okay.
And those are not debatable, correct? We had this discussion. Elissa, take the roll on the tabling, please.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Kilps,
Aye.
Cash,
Aye.
Went,
Aye.
Britton,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Holthouse,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
All right. So we will go on to ordinance 21-02. This is to repeal a portion of section 500-5 and alleys of chapter 500 traffic code of the city of Watertown. This is here from public safety, Alderman Schmidt, Public Safety and Welfare on its first reading.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion
I'll
by
second.
Schmidt and a second by Pash. Questions on this one? Elissa?
Schmidt,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Kilps,
Aye.
Cash,
Aye.
Went,
Aye.
Britton,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Holthouse,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
All right, next is 21-03. This is to create section 500-3 Parn A through streets designated of chapter 500 of our traffic code. This one is here from Alderman Schmidt, Public Safety and Welfare on its first reading.
I'll make a motion to approve 2104.
I believe we're on 21.
I'll second.
Correct?
Oh, is that on 3 or 4?
3.
three.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. We have a handful of these, so I understand. Motion by Went. Is that a second by Schmid?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Questions or comments? All right, Elissa.
Went,
Aye.
Britton,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Holthouse,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Phillips,
Aye.
Cash,
Aye.
All right, next is ordinance 2104. This is to repeal a portion of 500-3 Parent B stop intersections, also of chapter 500 of our traffic code. This is here from Alderman Schmidt and Public Safety and Welfare on its first reading.
Wetzel,
Thank you.
approve 2104.
Motion by Wetzel. Second.
Written second.
Written. Motion by Wetzel, second by Written. Questions or comments? Elissa.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Phillips,
Aye.
Cash,
Aye.
Went,
Aye.
Britton,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Holthouse,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
All right, next is ordinance 2105. This is to create a portion of section 500-3 Parent B stop intersections of chapter 500 of our traffic code. This is again from Alderman Schmidt, Public Safety and Welfare on its first reading.
I'll make a motion to approve. Went.
Thank you. Motion by Went,
Wetzel second.
second by Wetzel. Questions or comments? Elissa.
Went,
Aye.
Britton,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Holthouse,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Phillips,
Aye.
Cash,
Aye.
All right, next is 2106. This is to create a portion of section 500-3 Parent B stop intersections of chapter 500 of the traffic code. This is here again from Alderman Schmidt, Public Safety and Welfare on the first reading.
With pass, I'll move to approve ordinance 21-06.
Thank you. Motion by Pash, second by
Written second.
Motion by Pash, second by Written. Questions or comments? Elissa.
Cash,
Aye.
Went,
Aye.
Britton,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Holthouse,
Who's
Holthouse,
saying aye? Looks like you're
Wagner?
mute.
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Phillips,
Aye.
All right, next is ordinance 21-07. This is to create a portion of section 500-3 Parent B stop intersections of chapter 500 of our traffic code. This is here from Alderman Schmidt, Public Safety and Welfare on the first reading.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I have a motion by Wetzel and a second by Went. Any questions? Elissa.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Phillips,
Aye.
Cash,
Aye.
Went,
Aye.
Britton,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Holthouse,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
All right, thank you. Next is ordinance 21-08. This is also to repeal and recreate a portion of section 500-3 Parent A through streets designated of our chapter 500 of our traffic code. This is here from Alderman Schmidt, Public Safety and Welfare, the first reading.
Pass, I'll move to approve ordinance 21-08.
Thank you. Motion by Pash, second by Bartz. Questions or comments? Elissa.
Bartz, or excuse me, sorry, Pash,
Aye.
Went,
Aye.
Britton,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Holthouse,
Aye.
Wagner, Aye. Schmidt,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Helps,
Aye.
All right, very good. And then our last ordinance is 21-09. This is to repeal and recreate a portion of section 500-3 Part A through streets designated of chapter 500 of our traffic code. This is here from Alderman Schmidt, Public Safety and Welfare, on the first reading.
Wetzel, I'll move 2109.
Thank you. Motion by Wetzel, second by Wagner. Any comments or questions from anyone? Elissa?
Wetzel,
Aye.
Helps,
Aye.
I heard an aye, Elissa.
Did you say pass? I'm sorry. Aye.
Went,
Aye.
Britton,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Holthouse,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
All right, let's go to resolutions then. Our first is Exhibit 9151. This is a resolution to create a Strategic Initiatives and Development Coordinator position and add a position to the 2021 payroll resolution. This is here from me and the Finance Committee.
Britton, move to approve Exhibit 9151.
Thank you. Motion by Ritten, with a second by Wagner. Any comments or questions from anyone?
I have a question. The funding in this one, was this part of the budget for the new position?
Yes. Yep, this is in the Economic Development budget. It's partly funded by the RDA, partly funded by the general fund, and partly funded by the Economic Development Fund.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I couldn't find the pay scale offhand. What grade L? What is the approximate starting salary on grade L?
It's a great question. I'm not at my desk, but Elissa is, so she will pull that up.
I thought I had it, but I couldn't find the number.
Typically, new employees start between step 1 and the midpoint. The step 1 is 2812, the midpoint is 3124, and the top of the range is 3436.
Any other questions, comments? Mr. Wetzel?
In a nutshell, what is the scope of their work?
I would say two things. One, to be the executive director of the redevelopment authority, so the day-to-day operations of the RDA, bringing the town square to life, and then the continued strategic planning of the RDA post-town square. And then two is just general city redevelopment and economic development. And then I'll add a third, which is the strategic initiatives, which are large overarching topics that span across more than one department that aren't carried right now by anyone except me or sadly whoever is in the room with me and ends up having to do the work. So someone.
Thank you. I just wanted everyone to hear that, so thank you.
They know it's true. Any other questions?
I do have a question for clarification purposes.
Go ahead.
So I'm assuming if this passes and goes forward, then a full job description will then be attached to it with responsibilities and reporting chain?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if it's, once it's posted, it'll be posted with the job description. It was in the finance packet in that manner, but I can ask someone right now, whoever I see first. No, I'm just kidding. I'll send it to you, Alderperson Schmidt. I'll start an email right now to send that to you. Any other questions? All right, Elissa.
Britton,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Holthouse,
Aye.
Wagner, Schmidt,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Helps,
Aye.
Cash,
Aye.
Went,
Aye.
All right, next is Exhibit 9152. This is a resolution to enter into a contract with USIC for our locating services for the underground utility facilities marking and locating. It's here from Alderman Pash and Public Works.
Pass, I'm going to approve Exhibit 9152.
Thank you. Motion by Pash, second by
I'll
Barth.
second.
Questions or comments on this one? Elissa?
Cash,
Aye.
Went,
Aye.
Britton,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Holthouse,
Aye.
Wagner, Schmidt,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Hilps,
Aye.
All right, next is Exhibit 9153. This is a resolution for drinking water well number 1 and well number 8 rehabilitation. This is here from Alderman Pash and Public Works.
Pass, I'm going to approve Exhibit 9153.
Thank you. Motion by Pash,
Written
second by
second.
Written.
Schmidt, all second.
I have a motion by Pash and a second by Written. Any questions or comments? Lisa?
Cash,
Aye.
Went,
Aye.
Britton,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Holthouse,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Hilps,
Aye.
All right, and then our last is Exhibit 9154. This is a resolution for the 2020 cured in place pipelining for the sanitary sewer contract number 7-20. This is change order number 1 for the final payment. This is here from Alderman Pash, Public Works.
Pass, I'm going to approve Exhibit 9154.
Motion by
Schmidt, all second.
second by Schmidt. Any questions on this one? Elissa?
Cash,
Aye.
Went,
Aye.
Britton,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Holthouse,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Hilps,
Aye.
All right, next it then is comments and suggestions from citizens present. All right, with that then I'd look for a motion to adjourn. Motion by Written, second by Wagner. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Have a good evening, everyone.
Good night.